The Twin Valley Locker Room Show takes you inside Clay Center Lady Tiger basketball. Twin Valley Locker Room is powered by Pulse Internet. All your devices, one superior connection. And we're joined now by Special K, Savannah Kipfer. In fact, this is take 3 of this interview that we have tried to get done, and for whatever reason, it is not recorded the first 2 times. So you have nothing to do with this, are you sure?
Absolutely nothing.
Not a ploy to get out of practice or anything like that?
No.
Very good. We do want to ask a few questions, though, of Special K. And one of the things that's been special about the Lady Tigers is your defense. And I've talked with you a couple of times about this. But I want you to give me a little idea of what your team's defensive philosophy is. You don't have to go through all 11 rules. I know there's 11 rules, right?
Yeah.
But kind of give me an idea what you guys try to accomplish when a team brings the ball down the floor.
Well, we try to, one of our rules is one shot. Like, they only get one shot or no shots. That's ideal. But what we do is we just go through all of our rules and, just do every one of them. And
if you follow the rules the way I understand it, a team should not score on you.
Correct. Yes.
And as you work through practice and you get into the game time, you guys, I think, from watching you, have seen that happen more and more and more. I mean, you're holding teams in the 20s and 30s, night in and night out, single digits through each quarter. So it has been a special defense for you guys. You come off of a couple of wins. You have Marysville. You go on the road to meet Wamego. Now you're looking at going in to face the Abilene Cowgirls this Friday. I have an idea how important that game's going to be to you guys on Friday night. How much have you guys talked about that game now that you've gotten through the Wamego win and know that an NCKL title really rests on that game Friday evening?
Well, we've already talked about it a little bit, but we try not to look too far into the future, and I'm assuming in a few minutes once practice gets started, we're going to talk about it a little more and go through, some of the stuff that Abilene does. Beating Abilene, we need to beat Abilene in order to be league co-champs, so and
potentially still individual champs, depending on how the rest of the season weighs out. But Friday's really, really important.
Yeah, potentially, yes.
We do Tiger trivia. And I promised I wouldn't shake up the questions, because you've heard these before, okay? You trust me?
I'll try, maybe.
I'm going to surprise you with one to start with. Have you ever had Special K for breakfast?
Yes, my parents actually bought me Special K cereal after that name was given to me. So, yeah. Very
good. Well, stay with it. It's got to work for a Special K to eat Special K. Okay, I've asked you this before, and you've told me that Allie Wright Frederick is the best joke teller on the team. Do you have a joke in mind that she has told that you could share?
Her jokes are kind of a joke. They aren't very good. I don't know. They aren't good enough to be memorable, that's for sure.
Is she the only one that really thinks they're funny?
Yeah, probably.
Kind of believe that. All right. I've asked you this too, but I love this question because you were such a good cross-country runner throughout your career and just wrapped up your senior season. What's more fun, crossing the finish line in cross-country or out on this basketball floor knocking down one of those threes?
Definitely knocking down a 3 because crossing the finish line during a race hurts way too much.
I can believe that. And you've told me Friends was the last TV show you binge watched. Have you watched another show since I asked you that question?
No, not really binge watched, but I watched some shows on TV like Big Bang Theory.
Okay. So give me your favorite Big Bang Theory character, and on top of that, your favorite Friends character.
I think Sheldon Cooper is probably my favorite Big Bang Theory character, and probably Rachel is my favorite Friends character.
Very good. Savannah, thanks for being patient with the Locker Room Show and for all the answers throughout this time.
Thank you.
Special K, she'll be on the court Friday night against the Abilene Cowgirls. Back on the Twin Valley Locker Room Show, and now joined by the silent assassin, Courtney Hammel. Do you know where that name comes from?
No.
Coach Moran during volleyball and your way to the state championships a year ago was at Chapman, and we sat down and talked, and I was talking about the play that you had had during the sub-state. And he said, sometimes she's so silent. She's like a silent assassin. You don't even know she's attacking. And the next thing you know, look at the stats, and that's where it comes from. So Coach Moran's who to blame for that, okay?
Okay.
You make sure and go talk to him about that. You guys come off of 2 really good wins against Marywell. You've come off of a string of wins now, but the last 2 with Marysville on homecoming night and then going to Wamego. I asked Savannah this too. I'll ask you. I asked you before, actually, when you and Megan and I did one of the interviews earlier that didn't take. Abilene coming up Friday, the NCKL championship. How important now does that game become, and how much now can you focus on that game? Because you tried not to, right?
Yeah, we can focus on it a lot now. That's what these next 2 practices are going to be. And that was one of our goals that the seniors said at the beginning of the season, that we wanted to get Abilene. So it's a really important game for us.
And a win on Friday ties you with Abilene for the league lead and then the potential co-champion, or who knows what happens in the remainder of the season, even more than that. I talk a lot about you rebounding the basketball. And so I'm going to have you tell me, take me through when the shot goes up, what is the silent assassin thinking about when the ball goes up in the air and you're working to get a rebound?
When I go to get a rebound, I kind of try to think of if the ball is going to bounce on the rim any, and then how to time my jump right so I can get it at the highest point.
It is more of a science, I think, than most people realize, the way you go attack the rim. It is fun to watch. Okay, we do something called Tiger Trivia. You have an idea of what's coming your way now, right?
Yes.
Very good. Question number 1. We had homecoming, and maybe you know the answer because of the homecoming dance that took place, but if you were to pick one Lady Tiger that would be the first on the dance floor, who would it be?
Allie, right?
Without a doubt?
Yes.
Now, Allie also was chosen by Savannah as the best joke teller. Would you agree?
I would agree, yes.
And not to pick on the sniper, Allie Wright Frederick, but I will. Savannah also said that Allie's about the only one who thinks her jokes are funny.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay, number 2. If someone were to have brought you Valentine's candy or the next holiday or birthday, whatever it may be, what kind of candy would you choose?
Reese's.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups?
Yes.
All right, very good. And finally, let's talk about if you could choose one music artist to listen to. Only one, who would it be?
I'm going to stick with what I said last time, Josh Turner.
Megan gave you trouble for that. She picked AC/DC.
She did give me trouble. She kind of made fun of me.
Is that normal?
Yes.
Very good. Courtney, good luck with the rest of the season. It's been a great run. Keep it up, okay?
Thank you.
Courtney Hammel, the silent assassin on the Twin Valley Locker Room Show. Back again with the Twin Valley Locker Room Show, and joined now by Coach Jeff Edwards. The Lady Tigers coming off a really good run right now, Coach. Win number 15, just the one blemish in the NCKL, and now you get Abilene coming up. I've talked with both of the seniors we had on, Savannah and Courtney, about how important this game Friday night is and how you've really kept focus on each little step. Now that big step waits on Friday night. It's got to be fun for you right now.
It's going to be fun. We've been really good about not looking ahead. We know that in order to get to what we had as our goal of winning the NCKL, we had to take care of everything else. So it would have been easy to really focus on Abilene and overlook a team or two, but we did not do that. So we're excited about Friday night.
Let's talk about your team. We mentioned the 15 wins, the role that you're on right now, 15-3. You're scoring in the 50s or beyond. You're holding teams in often the 20s. Tuesday night against Wamego, it got up to the 30s, but still they didn't reach that 40-point barrier. This is just a really pretty good machine you got on the court right now.
Yeah, and that's our pride and joy is our defense. If we play hard and we play by our rules, it's tough for any team to score. And the thing that happened against Wamego that got them more points is they had an individual or two step up and hit some one-on-one shots. You're not going to beat us as a team, so they had to step up and throw up some shots, and they went in, and those don't usually go in. So, we just got to make sure we don't have too many of those happen like that. But 35 is still pretty respectable.
I want to talk a little bit about your offense for the second straight night. 3 players in double digits, led by Lauren Lane. And I've heard you talk about Lauren before. There's an extra gear that she has, and I thought we saw it maybe the best of the season on offense anyway, in a transition bucket. There was a defender stride for stride, and Lauren's dribbling the basketball. And at about the 3-point line, she just, left her standing still. It's pretty amazing what she's capable of doing.
Very, very athletic and versatile. That's what makes her a tough player. Is she can score inside, she can score outside, she can score in transition, and when she decides to get up on a layup, there's nobody going to reach up with her and block the shot because she can get up too. So, we've seen that. We saw it on Friday night as well when she made a baseline move that just left two Marysville girls completely in the dust, nowhere to be found, and scored all by herself around the bucket. So, pretty impressive when she does that.
I'm going to go back to defense real quickly. You've mentioned the 11 rules. You've said it in pregame before on the air here in the locker room show. You said this team is about to the point where every once in a while they get all 11 right, and when that happens, it's a thing of beauty.
It definitely is, and to touch on a few of them that you can see when we're out there, we focus on ball pressure. That's number one, first rule, and I believe it doesn't matter if you're a post, a perimeter, it doesn't matter if you're injured, you're going to get ball pressure. And then we force to a sideline, we try to keep it on a sideline and give our help that you see rotating through. I won't go through all of them, but it usually finishes with a tough rotation, a box out, one or fewer shots, and transition. And we're getting to the point where if we manage to follow the rules, we're beating quite a few teams.
I know that you were switching on everything. He said this in pregame to me on the air on Tuesday, and there was a couple of times where your posts were guarding their point guards, and you wouldn't have known the difference the way they moved their feet. I mean, it's fun to watch this team play really on both ends right now. I'm going to move to Tiger trivia, okay? Grammy Awards were Monday night. Of the Clay Center Tiger coaches, who would have the best chance to win a Grammy Award with their voice?
I'm going to have to say both of them. It'd be a beautiful duet. I can see Mike bringing it in and Nicole finishing it off. So I'm going to go with both of them right there.
And you're out of the picture?
That's right. Yeah, you don't want to see me sing.
All right, number 2, favorite pregame meal?
As a player, I love the carbs and spaghetti and stuff. So I'd always do a spaghetti or pasta meal. That was probably my favorite right there.
Do you eat before a game as a coach?
No, and sometimes I don't eat after a game. Depends on how you feel after the game. So a lot of times, like last night, got home at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and you just skip that one. But I find ways to make up for it.
Okay, this spring-like weather we've had, I know you're focused on basketball, your team's focused on basketball, but with the weather feeling the way it is, what is the first spring-like activity you can't wait to go take advantage of?
I'm a big turkey hunter, so I love to get out there and traipse through the woods and scout some turkeys and hunt some turkeys. So used to be all kinds of sports, but the body's breaking down, so now I do something where I can sit beside a tree and be lazy and try to bring the action to myself. So.
Very good. Coach, it is a great run right now you guys are on. I can't wait to see what happens Friday night when you go into Cowtown. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
The Twin Valley Locker Room Show inside Clay Center Lady Tiger basketball.